It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play guys. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas, they using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me, what's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah. They're controlling the youth, agenda of fusing them, nigga, we losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them, that's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act, fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got it. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beard, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
How to be a better ally to fat people.
Listen to a fat person for once in your life.
How dare you?
Been privileged.
I'm a fat.
Fat oppression.
Come on.
Shaming fat people on a daily basis, threatening us with diabetes.
Pizza is a vegetable.
A lot of white allies and accomplices ask.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 25 hundo and 50 dose of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and yo hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 flexing on all you beashes.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 2552. Hit the thumbs up button no matter where you are watching. YouTube fam, make sure everyone get the like police going. Hit the thumbs up. It helps tremendously. And make sure you check the show notes down below for all the details and things that we talk about. In today's show, we have a lot of stuff going on over on swolenormousx.com. Make sure you join us today to get access to yesterday's accountability meeting. We have a roundtable this Thursday. We have an overtime bonus segment on Friday, and we got a lot of good shit that happens every single week. And of course, every single day, because we have the Telegram chat bumping, we have the Facebook group bumping, we have the Discord on fire. So we have a lot of stuff going on inside the Swole fam. Join us so you can ask questions, so you can get access to the programs, the meditation, everything you need to crush and make some sick fucking gains. You got to crush your pillars this year, fam. It is May, throughout the entire year, especially in 2022. I know it's been 2023 for a hot minute, but I always like to remind people when we talk about fuck your resolutions, because I say that. I'm talking about fuck your resolutions going on September and October. And people don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. Oh, it's resolutions. Okay, well, I'll change it. Well, it's the holidays. Well, I got family in town. Yeah, but your addictions. But you're addicted to bad fucking habits. You're addicted to these garbage foods. And you're a lazy fuck and you don't want to make changes. And I'm telling you, every year, and I'm going to do it again and again and again. I'm going to keep on doing it every fucking season because I'm telling you, in May, in April, in March, in February, no one's going to care. No one's going to be talking about resolutions. When's the last time? I'll remind you once more. When's the last time you heard someone talk about a New Year's resolution? When's the last time? When's the last time this year someone mentioned New Year's? When's the last time someone said Happy New Year? When's the last time someone talked about a New Year's resolution? Exactly. My fucking point. People say things. They ask questions. They say things. They plan. They do all these things to prepare and they don't take action. They talk shit. So it doesn't matter what you do around New Year's, what you call it. If you're not taking action, you're full of shit. Doesn't matter if it's a resolution, a promise to yourself, I'm going to change, whatever it is. You're full of shit unless you take action. It's better off to shut your fucking mouth and get it done. Shut your fucking mouth and take action rather than just running your... I'm going to make a resolution. This year's going to be different. New year, new me. You mean new year? Same fat fucking lazy ass you. That's what you mean. Starting off this episode hot. All right, let's get into that tip. Welcome Elizabeth, Cerny, John. How we doing, Mariah? Dylan, what up, beaches? Starting off hot today. Let's bust the nut open. Let's get the swole card out, and we're going to keep the heat turned up. We're going to keep the heat turned up during today's episode.
He's heating up!
It's Tainty Tuesday, and I think it's going to be some fire. All right, let's summon the Falcon, get today's swole card out. We'll give it away at the end of today's episode. Drop in the comments down below. What are you smashing today? Beast of a show. Let's fucking go. I couldn't help myself. It's Massive May, and I realized once I wrote the card that it's going to be see-through because it's green. It's green and red. It looks awesome. But of course, because of the green screen, you are only going to see through it. So hashtag Massive May for a chance to win today's swole card. It is green and red, so you're not going to get a clear card, even though you might want it. You might want a clear card, but you're not going to get a clear card. Let me just get that light. Okay. All right. Hashtag Massive May. It looks cool, though. It looks super cool. All right. Let's get into some tip, and we got a couple other announcements. We'll just do that in the tip section, and hashtag Massive May for a chance to win today's swole card. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Spit on it. So this Thursday, the episode will be private. We have a Thursday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you and the Swole fam. 6 p.m., 6 to about 7 o'clock. We have our round table. So be there fresh at 6 and be ready to come up on stage because we're not wasting any time Roundtable 42, Thursday, May 4th from 6 to 7. Be there this Thursday. It's going to be awesome. Love some roundtables, and be there for that. Also, we have a brand new design. Dobby never skips leg day. This is fucking fire. What a design. What a design. Look at those sick fucking gains. Master gave Dobby a sock. Now Dobby can go do legs. Go and check it out over there. Daily Swole. Use papaswole.com. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off. Dobby never skips leg day. And let's see. Yesterday we dropped some new releases, new recipes, Swole Studio releases, and we announced a bunch of things. We got a brand new class inside Swolenormous X for members. We have an Express Yin for pelvis and hips with Alex. It's fantastic. How many of you tried this class already? If you didn't, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, Alex's classes are fantastic, but this class, I know a lot of you are going to be absolutely super fucking stoked, because most people need to work on their hips. And Yin is an alt-level style yoga. Gravity, very passive. It's fantastic. You don't need to. You're not going to get a big sweat going, but it's really a mental meditation. You don't move. You don't fidget. You hold the poses for long periods of time, and it's a great release. So this is a great, great fucking class, and I highly recommend everyone that enjoys Yin. You're going to fucking love this class. If you've never done Yin, this is a great class to start with. It's for all levels. All Yin is for all levels. And you can modify the positions. And of course, our instructors, especially Alex, are fantastic with those modifications. So check it out inside the yoga studio. Join us, swolenormousx.com. Express Yin for pelvis and hips. Excellent.
Yow.
Fantastic. All right, we got the first Swole Fam post. Ooh, we got one from Chris. We're going to kick it off with Chris. Chris. Hello, Chris. All right, Chris, just giving a candid photo drop and overall update, fam. Remember, I was approximately 270 pounds. Still working every day, still pushing at bettering myself every day, staying currently around 200. 19 months in. A year ago, I was feeling a little bit too small. I was half as strong as I am now, half as flexible, and was around 190 pounds, but I'm heavy carnivore with some carbs, some fiber from fruit, very little potatoes, but I can sometimes fall down the cheese rabbit hole. No days without effort. Keep pushing, testing, and learning. Love you, Papa and the fam. Chris is looking fucking awesome. You look great, dude.
Wow.
You look great. Epic. You look great. You look fantastic. So look at that left picture. If you're just listening, make sure you turn on the show. Most people watch on YouTube on the Daily Swole channel. And for those of you that don't know, it streams and also on Rumble, the Daily Swole channel. So I would make sure you check it out. If you don't want to use YouTube, you can go and check out Rumble too. Those are the best places to watch, in my opinion. Great fucking picture, dude. I mean, on the left there, you see the gut. He's pale. He's got, he has facial hair. I wouldn't consider it a beard. He's got facial hair. A lot of people call facial hair a beard, and that's just inappropriate. He's got short hair, little facial scruff, big old gut. And then the other pictures, like, you can fucking start to see like abs and stuff, lean, nice full beard, hair's coming in, everything looks great. You just look healthy, dude. I mean, obviously you're taking pictures after you probably showered or worked out, so you're look sweaty and tired, but like in a good way. So fantastic, dude. Absolute amazing difference. You can night and day. We always say night and day. It's a huge progress. Oh, it's fat phobic. It's fat phobic. Remember, the pictures are fat phobic, right? Transformation pictures are fat phobic. How is that fat phobic? How is that fat phobic? You don't want to be in the left picture. That's not healthy. So anyone that says that is a fucking idiot. Any of that fat phobic shit, no, it's not that. The picture of your before, you're showing it off and being like, look how different I am. But there are a lot of people that look like your before picture and they might be offended. Okay, be offended. Let them be offended. What's the difference? Again, it's the most ridiculous thing. Let them be offended. Yeah, the before picture, most people look like the before picture, but now people can see that they can make changes. So let them be offended. If they're huge pussies, let them be huge pussies and stay fat. Or make changes like Chris. You have choices. You could stay fat or make changes. Your choice. All right, we got one from Fixer. I think this is Chris too, right? Fixer Chris, a different Chris. A small thing that's a big deal to me. Today I swept and mopped the living room. 6 months ago, I couldn't even sweep a part of the same room without taking multiple breaks, and I'd be in physical pain for hours afterwards. I'm loving every little thing that I took for granted. Stay motivated, fam. Wow, dude. Talk about a different win. You don't have to lose 150 pounds to make progress. And I appreciate, Chris, it's a different Chris Johnson. I really appreciate you making this post. A lot of people think that you'll see a picture from the first Chris. Well, I can't post that. People are going to laugh at me, or we don't do that in the Swole Fam, but you think that your win is not sufficient because you see a lot of people that post these big, massive weight loss stories. So you think that you're not going to share your little wins, but I think it's very important. Progress is progress, and every single little win, it stacks up. The first Chris, he didn't just go from being fat and flabby to lean. He didn't just jump that. There's a lot in between. There's a lot of trials and failures and struggles and ups and downs, but he's doing it. He's doing it. He's getting it done. And for this Chris, these are the first steps, right? These are the first steps. He couldn't do work around the house. Now he can. So guess what? Now he can do work around the house. So he's engaged. He's inspired. He's excited. So he's going to do more work around the house, more physically active. And then what else can I achieve? What other steps can I get to? And then comes the next thing. And then comes the next win. He has to get to this point in order to get to the next lily pad. You have to do this first. So that's fantastic. These are all fucking wins. Tech Edition says, how and where can we share these posts? These are inside Swolenormous X. These are inside our private community in the Swole Fam. So members are posting these in the Facebook group, the Telegram chat, the Discord, and the discussion board. So check us out, swolenormousx.com, and all the private groups. We have a few places where we communicate. Telegram and the Facebook group are the most popular, but that's where we share these posts, and that's where we pull them from. Always like to share and give shout outs to the fam. Sorry to hear that, Loretta. My mom's sick, taking her to the hospital. Hopefully she's okay. I hate hospitals. Hashtag brain gains. Help me now. I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone give some love to Loretta. Keep us posted. And let your ear holes be stretched throughout the day. And we're here for you. We're here for you. Yeah, share the stream. Hit the thumbs up button. It really helps a lot. Even if you can't join the Swole Fam officially, hitting the thumbs up when the live stream comes on helps tremendously. And so love to Loretta, and both Chris's are crushing it. Last Swole Fam post of the day, Mariah. I love it when the people that post these are watching live too. In our off-topic section, this is a good topic for discussion. All right, Mariah says, this is on our discussion boards on Swolenormous X. Hey fam, so I've been trying to get my cycle back for the past 6 months since getting off the pill. I've seen a few doctors who wanted to just put me back on either the quote pill or another synthetic hormone. Then I saw a midwife who recommended some specific teas and tinctures, but said the most important thing was high quality sleep. She said to get blackout curtains and that at night I should be able to put my hand out and not see it. I 100% agree. Reason being is that we haven't evolved with so much artificial light 24/7, and it really screws with our hormones and how the body signals proper hormone release in the proper amounts, and the pill also disrupts this. Yes, it definitely does. You have artificial hormones being externally introduced, therefore the body is already being told to underproduce what you need because it's expecting it from an outside source. I'm going to get curtains this weekend, so I'll keep you guys posted. Just thought it was really interesting and wanted to share. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about this all the time. You shouldn't be able to see your hand, blackout curtains, cold, dark room, no LED lights, no cell phones or Wi-Fi or anything in your bedroom, no TV. If you have a TV in your bedroom, take that shit out. You should not be watching TV or getting any kind of blue light at night. You know what we do? I always talk about how we turn all the lights in the house turn red at night once the sun goes down. And we do that also when it comes to TV, because sometimes we'll watch, we watch a TV show. We like TV series. We'll watch either Always Sunny. I'm showing her X-Files because I don't like the new stuff. I don't give a fuck about new shows and things like that. But we'll go through some of the class. So we'll eat and we'll have, we'll plug in the TV, but it's through the laptop. So I have this app because we use Macs. So I have this app called Iris, and you can turn the screen completely blood red. So all the screens go blood red at night. So when the sun goes down, if we're eating, usually we're eating when it's still light out in the late afternoon, early evening. And I turn it to red. And as it gets darker, we turn it red. So we're watching the TV because the laptop is plugged into the TV. So the tint and everything that you put through the laptop projects onto the TV. So we have the red screen. So if we're sitting there watching a show or something while we're eating, we have it turned red. But yeah, I mean, it's very important. Even with the mask, you still have photoreceptors that are catching the blue. So it definitely helps if you wear a mask, but you definitely want to cut out because you have photoreceptors in your nose and your ears and you can kind of sense when it's still light outside or still bright. So try to block out as much as possible. So absolutely fantastic. Synthetic and of course hormone birth control is terrible for women. It's so fucking bad for women. They put women on these things when they hit their periods. Oh, you have acne? Here, take these hormone blockers or these hormone manipulators. Really bad for women. Really, really bad for women. What I would recommend is in your Get Started series, you'll see all the Telegram chats. You could join the Swolenormous Beauty chat. Mama Swolio tracks her cycles and she has it down to a T. She knows exactly when she's ovulating, when everything starts. She's really into that. So she can help you or give you any advice. But sleep is essential for hormones, male, female, all ages. It's the most important thing. It's more important than food. And artificial, any kind of birth control or exogenous hormones are terrible. So glad you're on the right track, Mariah. And if you have any other questions, let us know because we all focus on that all the time, especially turning everything red at night and blocking out blue light, staying off your phone late at night and stuff like that. So let me see. I also do that. I have it set up on my phone. So I just tap the power button 3 times and my phone turns red. So at night, it's much more relaxing on the eyes. It's much better than black and white. Just turn it completely red. Mariah, is the beauty chat in the discussion board or Discord? It's in Telegram. You've never gone through the Get Started series, have you? It's all in there. It's all in there. We don't have all the Telegram chats on the homepage anymore because it was just too much content on the homepage. So it's all in the Get Started series. That will link you to all those things. Maybe we'll put them back, but I think some people, no matter where we put the things and we organize, people are still like, hey, where do we get this? How do I get this? Because no matter how much we tell people, hey, do this, go to the Get Started series, blah, blah, blah. Hey, where do I find it? They still don't. So, but it's in there. Check your Get Started series. If for some reason you're not finding it, we can share the link in one of the other chats. Let's see. Yeah, so everyone's talking about there's a lot of makeup, lotions, all these different types of things. Shampoos, conditioners. So all the questions a lot of people ask me, I don't really have the answer for it because I don't know the brand or the things and that. Mama Swolio knows and stuff. For the most part, I use tallow or lard for moisturizer, jojoba oil. I'm very simple with what I use. The least that you can use, the better. You don't want to use a lot of ingredients, especially with all the phthalates and toxins, and most of the beauty products you'll find in any store are rancid because of the water that they add and the bacterial overgrowth, and there's a lot of other processing. The beauty industry is completely fucked. It's not really beauty, it's toxic. Super simple to be healthy. It really is. It's very simple to be healthy. It's not complicated. You're not using a lot of different substances. You're not eating all these different types of things. It's just it seems too easy. I think people have this obsession. I know they do. They have this obsession with variety. You think that variety is everything has to have so many different things. I have to have so many different things from so many different places. You have to take this green powder drink that's like, oh, we got 10,000 different fruits and vegetables. Why? It's not necessary. It's powdered. It's probably not even absorbing properly. Tastes like shit. Not that you want most of these things in your body anyway. You're not getting enough of each one, even if it was good for you to make a difference. You're better off eating organ meats, eating an ounce of beef liver a day, and you get all the shit that you need. You don't need all these. You don't need every fruit and every color under the sun. That's nonsense. A colorful plate, that's ridiculous. It's absurd. Anyway, all these silly things. Just take care of your health. Get sunlight, get quality sleep. It's amazing how many people try to fix blemishes or acne and psoriasis by putting topical things when they need to fix their nutrition and get sleep, and it'll go away. Mama Swole used to have that. Gone. It'll disappear when you cut out all these vegetables and carbohydrates and vegetable oils. Your psoriasis and skin conditions will disappear. All those autoimmune problems go away, especially with quality sleep. But your skin, everything will just get better. Everything will just get better. Okay, so let's take some questions. If you have a question, you can go to askpapaswole.com and submit a question today. You can do it anytime. We'll take some calls. We'll take the first one from, it says Dodson. It says Dodson on the call.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
Papaswolio, thank you for all of your encouragement over the past few weeks as I've been on the elimination diet. I'm about to start reintroducing foods. I believe I'm going to gear it towards kind of a paleocentric diet. So with that, that's the context for my question. My two questions that I have, one, is there any particular order of which I should reintroduce foods to test them? Coffee versus dairy versus certain vegetables, certain fruit, etc. Second question is, do particular food groups react the same? And I know that's a loaded question, but for example, if I eat an orange and react well, is it safe to assume that limes and lemons will react the same, or should they be tested individually as well? Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.
I think you asked this question before, and yes, they should all be tested individually. Everything should be tested individually. In terms of the order, that's a better part of the question. I don't think people have asked that before, so I appreciate that. The nuance to that question. There's really no order that I would recommend. As long as you're doing things individually. It might seem painstaking, but yeah, it is. But you came this far. You've done 6 to 8 weeks of an elimination. Don't throw, like if you eat an orange is an orange. And oranges, I think clementines, I don't know if oranges, but usually high in oxalates too. I don't know if it's oranges or clementines. I know clementines, but in other words, you want to test these things one at a time. If you have, remember, you test one of these foods on a Monday and you go back to your elimination on Tuesday and Wednesday, for example, so you can see the reactions. Sometimes you don't get reactions from food for 48 hours after. It might take a couple days. So it's a longer process, but you definitely want to test things one at a time. And like coffee or caffeine, the quality of the coffee also matters. So if you have lower quality coffee, it doesn't mean that, let's say, all coffee will treat you the same way. You might have mycotoxins in that coffee. It might just be stale, or you want to be grinding coffee fresh if you're going to have it at all. And yeah, you want to make sure you're doing, and you're noticing like the individuality of the item, and just keep a journal, write down what you did and what you observe. And the more you're consistent with the things, the more you're consistent with testing it and seeing the next day. Because if you're getting inconsistent sleep, I'm not saying you can't do an elimination diet, but there's complications. So if you're working night shift and you're working like days on these, and then you're working all night, you're all over the place anyway. And then you're testing something. How do you know that it's what you tested versus, you got no sleep last night because of your work schedule? So you have to be a little bit more, you have to pay more attention and keep that in mind too. The more variables you have and the less consistent everything else that you do, if you're just random every day, or not random, but if you eat at different times in your schedule, you don't have a good base. It's really hard to observe. And certain foods you're going to notice a lot. So in terms of the reaction, you might react differently. We've had many members that from processed dairy, they'll have crazy migraines, or from gluten and grains. Very common to have migraines and psoriasis and things from processed carbs like bread and stuff like that and pasta. So you're going to react differently than someone else. It just is. It just is. Look at that. All right, first off, come on. Let's pause for a second. Look at that taint right there. Look at the tainty, man. Look at those meat sticks. Look at those paws. What is going on? What is that thing? Look at the little dew claws. Look at it. He's so cute. You're such a cute boy. He's such a good boy. And of course, we have the church. And she's a good girl. Okay. So we have the Swole crew. Everyone's napping. We'll take a live question. If I miss your question and you ask live, just copy and paste it again. Don't spam the chat, but drop it again. Sometimes I see a question, but I'm in the middle of answering something else. I'll see it out of the corner of my eye, and then I can't find it. Papa Swole, do you find any benefits from cranberry juice for immunity support and help with bone density? I read studies on it and wanted to hear your opinion on it. I don't consume cranberries, so immunity support, I don't know if that's actually a thing. I think the cranberry, I know people use it for urinary function or urinary tract and stuff. I think there's a lot of these natural whatever remedies that are not necessary if you have quality nutrition. I think some of these things might be beneficial. Oh, well, it'll help if you have a urinary or UTI or something. Take cranberry juice. But if you solve the problem of why you have a UTI or whatever it is to begin with, you probably don't need the cranberry juice. So people that have kidney stones or things like that, well, it's like stop eating so many vegetables and kale and spinach and oxalates rather than trying to, on top of that, find some natural remedy to fix. You see what I'm saying? So you get to the root cause, and a lot of these things might not be necessary. So I don't drink or drink cranberry juice. I haven't heard what you were referring to in terms of cranberry juice either, but it's possible. But I don't use it personally. Dylan FS in Australia, Papa Swole, we only have pasteurized milk. Is that true? Can you go to a local farm and maybe find a way to get raw? Is it worth making kefir, or should I just avoid it until I befriend a farmer? You're not going to be able to make kefir if you have pasteurized milk, because pasteurization kills the bacteria that you need in order to. If it's lightly pasteurized, you might be able to do it, but if it's ultra pasteurized, you can't. So you don't want to use pasteurized milk for making kefir because you don't have the bacteria that you need to make kefir. So if you have kefir available to purchase, you know it'll probably be lightly pasteurized because you can't make it. It's not going to ferment. It's not going to do its thing if you pasteurize it. You can try. I think if you try, I think you'll be very disappointed. And you can look into that more, but you never want to use pasteurized milk when possible. If anything lightly pasteurized, you might be able to. Let's see, Chris, 2 questions, Papa. What is your degree in? Exercise science. Second is 15 minutes on my active recovery days good, or should I be doing it more? 15 minutes of what? 15 minutes of what? Active recovery. I mean, there's many different things you could do for active recovery. 15 minutes or mobility, you're not really putting enough effort into it, for sure. You should be doing mobility and stuff, flexibility training, that kind of stuff. Active recovery is an arbitrary blanket statement that can cover many things. Sleep is active recovery. Going for a walk could be active recovery. Meditation can be active recovery. Lowering stress. Let's see, Mariah, it's insane how you have to hunt down simple products that are all organic certified and upcharge for being the, quote, health alternative when you're really looking for the product with the least shit. And organic certifications, there's a lot of things, like places where I get grass-fed, grass-finished beef. A lot of times they're not organic certified because there was, for example, in one state, I think it was Missouri, they changed the law for organic, and there's a new company that came in to do certified organic, and they wanted to charge, ready for this, for companies that were organic, and this is what like the company has on their website. For them to maintain their organic certification, this new company that came in, it's all the legislation. It's all like a circle jerk. It's everyone wants to get grease, like a fucking mafia. To maintain their certification, their organic certification, this company wanted to require them to, you want to know what they were charging them? 3% of their gross income or gross revenue. 3% That could be millions of dollars. 3% to maintain. It's like, get the fuck out of here. So they're still doing things properly. Non-GMO, no mRNA vaccines, all this different type of stuff, no antibiotics, X, Y, and Z. But they're not going to be extorted to maintain a organic certification. So just because it says organic doesn't mean it's actually good. It just means that the company is willing to pay out the ass. And the reason why you'll pay more is because they have to pay these certifying bodies. In other words, they have to grease the mafia. They have to pay them for organic certification. So it's going to cost you more because they're paying 1%, 2%, or whatever the fuck it is. They're doing some construction outside. So if you hear like noise or background noise or trucks are beeping, I apologize, but can't do anything about it. They're doing some shit out there. Aaron Timaras. Papa Swole, I'm currently cutting out grains from my diet, but I've been reading about quinoa and the protein and fiber levels. Is that a good exception to make when cutting out grain? In my opinion, no. I would cut that shit out. You don't need it. That's mostly, it's a superfood bullshit. Bullshit. I don't. Again, you're asking me, so I'm giving you my opinion. You can do your own research and formulate your own, but yeah, cut it all out. Eat some real food. Grizzly Magnum, Papa Swole, do you think that the LGBTQ community, of course, and every other letter after that, is starting to implode on itself due to the nonsense the trans cult is promoting? Well, anytime you're playing identity politics, this is what happens, right? The left eats their own. Every time you're playing identity politics, it's always, and because it is a cult, it's the othering of different identity groups, right? You have to be the most victimized. You have to be the most oppressed, the most marginalized. So this happens over time, and this is why it seems to be imploding. I still think there's still more traction. I think the Bud Light issue, the Anheuser-Busch, is still a very, it's a great sign. It's a great sign that people haven't lost their minds across the board. A lot of people aren't going to speak up. They don't want to lose their job. They're afraid. They're weak. They're pussies. They don't want to stand up for what they believe in, but you can actively not purchase garbage products. I mean, it's alcohol. It's garbage anyway. But don't buy anything from Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. Just avoid those products and let them eat their own dick. Let them eat their own dick. Could be the marketing blunder of the century. Good. They could burn. Just avoid. Boycotts work. Hit the pockets. They keep on shooting themselves in the foot. All they had to do was backtrack on it and take an L, but they haven't yet, so they can keep on sucking dick. So is it imploding? I mean, maybe. I still think there's a lot of traction left. Don't underestimate how much power and how much money the pharmaceutical companies and the food companies have. There's still tons of manipulation, but hopefully more people are waking up. We'll see. 2024 is around the corner. I think a lot of people are still completely blind and they're going to vote for the fucking corpse again. So we'll see. But this is what happens with identity politics. If you're not one of us, you're against us. And that circle keeps on getting tighter and tighter. And this is why every leftist and communist dictatorship over the course of hundreds of years has led to millions and millions of deaths, because when you have an other, when you have to point your finger and blame someone for your problems, it leads to many, many people dying. But it's all inclusive, right? It's very compassionate. It's very compassionate. They're so welcoming. Very welcoming people. Albert, hey Papa, for sore elbows, would you recommend using clubs apart from the flex bar? Sore elbows? What does that mean? So the flex bar is great for, maybe working on the eccentric movements for, the flexors and extensors for medial and lateral epicondylitis. The clubs are great for those things as well. It really depends on what caused the problem. Sore elbows, sore joints can be from autoimmune issues from food you're consuming. What's your nutrition like? Are you consuming gluten and grains and What else are you eating? Because if you're sore, if you have sore elbows, it could also be something with your nutrition too. I think clubs are great. Flex bar is great. Clubs are great. These are all tools. There's different ways to do it. You could also get a bucket. And for people that are saying, oh, I can't afford a club, I can't afford a flex bar. All right. I mean, I get it. I mean, everything's going to cost money to a point, but if you have a bucket, you can get 20 or 30 pounds of rice for $5-10, put in the bucket and use the bucket for your wrists and for your fingers and squeeze and twist. And it's cool because you can get different movements that you won't be able to get with any of these other devices because you can move them in any single way. It's great for your wrists and fingers. So a big bucket of rice is great. All right. And Spence, is beef liver from a supermarket not a processed meat, or is it still okay? Honestly, I would say grass-fed, grass-finished. Most of the meat you're going to find at a supermarket, if it just says beef liver, it's going to be grain-fed. If I have a choice, I'm not going to. I would personally never choose that over a grass-fed, grass-finished product. There are supplements out there, desiccated organs that you can get on Amazon, but at the same time, you can also order. If you don't have access to grass-fed, grass-finished beef locally, there are many places that you can purchase online, and they'll ship nationwide. And some of them have a minimum order, but you can stock your freezer. And you could also split it if it's a little bit too pricey and like, hey, I don't want to spend $300 on a shipment. You can go in with a friend and you both pay $150 and you have all this frozen grass-fed and grass-finished beef. So I personally would not eat the organs of a sick animal. And that's how I view it. Not that it's going to kill you, but you want to be eating, especially when you have such a nutrient dense source, you definitely want to be eating a healthy animal. All right. We'll take a couple more calls, but in the meantime, you can go to askpapasoy.com, submit a call, and we'll get to it this week. The Tech Edition asks, how do you deal, Papa Swole, with unsupportive family and friends who seem to criticize changing yourself for the better? Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, first off, you're here. So if you do have negative family, at least right here, your Swole fam will keep you on the straight and narrow. How do you deal with it? You focus inwards. You ignore them. You distance yourself as much as possible. I don't know if you're living with your family, it makes it more challenging. But at the same time, understanding why you're doing what you're doing and doing it for the right reasons, which are your reasons. If you're doing it for the right reasons, you'll be able to stick to it. Toxic people can have similar DNA. So you can pick your friends, you can't pick your family. So what I will say is, you should not have friends that criticize you changing yourself. That's the difference. You can't be like, your family is your family, but just because you have similar DNA doesn't mean you have to talk to them. And I'm not telling you just to ignore your family, but I kind of am. Fuck anyone. It might seem harder because, oh, you're related to them. Well, they can still be assholes. Just because you came out of let's say it's a similar, like a sister or brother, just because you came out of the same vagina doesn't mean that they're not cocks or cunts and they don't deserve your time. So the second part, friends, they're not your friends. They're not your friends. They're takers. They're manipulative. They're passive aggressive. They're not your friends. If they don't support you, then they're not your friends. And you need to remove yourself from the situation of spending time with them. Just distance yourself. Focus on your nutrition. Focus on your training. And if they don't want to be a part of that, they can fuck off. And they can be miserable by themselves or with other people. You've heard the term, right? Misery loves company. Let them find someone else. Miserable people want to be miserable with other miserable people. Just step away and let them burn themselves to the ground. Okay. Lady Hawk, Papa Swole, I recently jumped on the raw liver bandwagon. I like that. It's a great wagon. It's a fucking great wagon. Roll up there making gains. It's a great wagon. How much should I take per day for optimal benefits? 44-year-old female, 5'8", 153, an ounce a day. Just be consistent with it. You can have more liver less frequently. You can have a few ounces. Like some people like to cook liver and eat like a 6-ounce liver. You just don't need it every day. You don't need that much every day. But if you have a lot on one day for whatever reason, let's say you like it, you want to cook it, and you want to make a dish, you just don't need it for a few days. But if you want to have it every day, kind of like a vitamin and a supplement, just start off with 1 ounce, half an ounce, 1 ounce. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. And the thing is, a lot of the vitamins, for example, people, vitamin A toxicity, I don't even know how much fucking liver you'd have to eat. With all that bullshit, I'm telling you, my entire fucking life, okay, I've heard of raw eggs will give you salmonella. And now I know low quality eggs and stuff, like, sure, you may be, but if you have a weak immune system too, like that's also a problem. If you have a good, healthy gut biome, you probably don't succumb to the same things that weaker people do. Shocker. Same thing with COVID and any other flu, whatever it is. I've had so many raw eggs. I can't even count how many raw eggs I had in my life. Never had issues with salmonella. I've had tons of liver. Never had issue. Vitamin A toxicity. So I don't even know how much fucking vitamin A. I've never heard of anyone. For all the people I know that have eaten liver, I've never heard anyone. I have no contact, never seen anyone mention that they had vitamin A toxicity. Never. I'm not saying that you can't get it. I'm just saying I have never, you always hear, oh, be careful, vitamin A. Never fucking, never. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've never heard anyone actually have an issue. So I don't know how much liver you actually have to fucking eat, but my assumption is you're never going to eat that much of it. So I've had 3 ounces a day for a while. I've never had any problems. I just feel great. An ounce a day, you're fine. Okay. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've never heard anyone. You always hear the scary, oh my God, salmonella, raw eggs. They say that with everything. Be careful, you're eating meat. You're going to have heart disease. Meanwhile, everyone's sucking down sugars and vegetable oils or just dying left and right. So I'm going to use my brain and opt for being healthy and not being in chronic pain and not being morbidly obese. And yeah, definitely a good idea to not take health advice from people that are fatter and sicker than you. Yeah, the cholesterol thing's a huge myth. If you want to learn more about cholesterol, go check out The Great Cholesterol Myth. Great book. The cholesterol thing, fucking scam. Lady Hawk, thanks, Papa. There's so many lies about eggs too. Oh yeah. And don't eat the egg whites. Don't throw out the yolk. It's the best part. It's the healthiest part. But there's cholesterol in it. Oh, shut the fuck up. Mariah, you can always leave the door unlocked for family, but you don't have to let them in if they're going to project their insecurities and drag you down with them. Keep improving yourself. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Let's see. Julian, Papa Sully, I'm looking to buy clubs. Would you recommend buying 2 of the same weight to start? Sure. Depends on what kind of clubs you're looking for, wood or steel. Let's take another call. This one's from Rene Garcia. You're on the Sleazecast.
What books would you recommend to prepare for the CSCS certification exam?
Jesus Christ. I held the CSCS certification for years. I mean, I got my CSCS in 2005. I let it expire long time ago. What books? Their book? Their textbook or whatever it is now, whatever edition they're on. You know, it's... All right, you're asking me the question, so I'm going to lay it in here. These certifications, they're scams and they're not. Okay? So all that a certification is proving, hey, you passed a test. That's all it is. It's proving that you passed a test. It's this organization, it's this old school organization that has ins with all these sports teams and this, and it has this high bar of, you know, it's a challenging test. Okay. So it means you pass a test. It means you have a minimum amount of knowledge. It doesn't mean you're a good trainer. It doesn't mean you know what you're fucking doing. It doesn't mean you can sell people. It doesn't mean you can communicate well with others. It just means, hey, if an athlete has a vertical jump of this, a T-test of this, and a lateral blah, blah, you know, which are the following things that they should work on? Speed and strength and agility, cardiovascular, you know, there's like 5 different answers. Like, you know, it goes, the test that I remember, it goes to like F and G. It's like a multiple choice, you know, 1 and 4 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 3 and 4. It's just a mind fuck. And you need a degree to take it. So it's a challenging test. and it's highly respected. I don't know how it is in the industry now, but I also tested the system and made up things for CEUs, and they approved me, and I made shit up. And I was like, this is a fucking scam. They just want your money, right? The continuing education, it's just a fucking money mill. So if you need that certification, for a specific job, then you can go for it. If you want to do strength training, it's a great certification to have, but that doesn't make you a great trainer, a great coach. And, to maintain those things, it's just a money mill. So what book? Their book, their textbook. Like, it's all going to come out of their book. So I don't know what you mean. Like, what other books? I mean, other books might give you more information, but it's also about you practicing these things. Like, there's Starting Strength. There's all these other different books. I don't read those fucking books. I don't. It's not important. You have the information, but it's really going to come from you experiencing it and applying these training principles. So you can read and study all you want, but if you don't practice it yourself, you don't really have any kind of... There's a real world experience that you can't learn from a book, which is actually much more valuable. But if you're just trying to get the certification, just study from their book, because that's where the test's coming from. All right, we got a call here from Jeff, but I have a really bad taste in my mouth of training, if you haven't noticed, and certifications. It's just, they're trying to make money. They're trying to make money, and it's the same thing with like healthcare, right? The insurance company, if you want to have personal training insurance, or gyms want to have insurance, then you need to make sure that people in your gym are qualified, because an insurance won't cover you if you like have a trainer that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, right? So how do you know what they're doing? They have to have insurance. They have to have this certification or this certification or this certification or whatever it is. And what do those certifications do? They give you a test. You have to pay for it. You have to maintain it with CEUs and do these quizzes, or go to a conference or take a class and show them that you have CEUs. And then once you get those CEUs that you paid for, you have to pay them $200 every 3 years or 4 years to re-up. It's just it's an industry, right? So, I have a degree in exercise science, but fuck that shit. I'm not trying to be like, hey, I have a degree and it was a waste of my time, but it was for personal training. I learned a lot more than I needed for personal training, because it was like pre-med. We do exercise physiology and anatomy, and I'm in a cadaver lab, and we're doing stress testing and stuff. So I was exposed to a lot of things I wouldn't have gotten. But I came down to Florida and I wanted to get a job, and most of these studios, I had a CSCS, I had a degree in exercise science. Guess what? They wouldn't fucking hire me. Why? Because I didn't have any experience. So I ended up working at Bally's when that still existed in 2005. So 4-year degree, CSCS, which at the time especially, I don't know what it is now, but like the top certification, you can only get it if you have a bachelor's degree. And it was like a 40% pass rate because the test was fucking brutal. And then then have to go and just like be an entry-level personal trainer. It's like, why would you be 100, 200 grand in debt these days to just be a personal trainer? It's like, go get a run-of-the-mill certification and get experience. Save yourself from the debt, and you'll learn more. Because it's all sales anyway. If you want to be a personal trainer, it's all sales. It's all sales and communication with people. So, just saying. Lady Hawk, Bally's a hell of a flashback. Aren't they all LA Fitness now? Yeah, they used to be Scandinavia, right? Fitness back in the day, and then there were Bally's, and then they just decayed. What a shit company. God, they were the standard for a while. Just another example of how a company can just literally shoot itself in the foot. It was awful. They fucked themselves over when they fucked their salespeople over, because people used to make a ton of money at Bally's because the commissions were ridiculous, and the salespeople, this is a really high class, and they started cutting things down. And then, of course, it went to shit. So businesses don't know how to treat their employees, and they changed the incentive structure, and the company went to fucking hell. Albert, I already answered that question. Apart from sore elbows, I already answered that question like twice. You just copied and pasted again. I already answered that. You keep on asking the same question. Hey, Papa, do you recommend for sore elbows? Stop asking that question, please. Because I answered that earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but you can hit the replay. All right, let's see. Did we do this from Jeff? Last one? Did we do this already? Maybe we did.
Hey, Papa Swolio,
Nope.
this is Jeff. Quick question about box squats. How do you feel about those? I'm 58 years old. Sometimes box squats seems to be much better choice than regular squats. I don't have any knee issues. Just feels better. Feel like I'm more straight up with my back. Do you think it's a good substitute or more of a supplementary exercise? Or just stick to regular squats since I have no knee or pain issues? Appreciate the feedback, and thanks for all you do. Have a good day.
Hey, Jeff, I appreciate the call. So first things first, I never do box squats. Never have, never liked them, never saw the point. I'm not saying they don't have an application, but I don't see any point aside from being easier and being able to sit down while you're fucking training. I just never, it's a little bit safer. Maybe you're doing like max heavy lifts, and some people like the pause, and that's more like a powerlifting thing in my experience. I just never saw the point. So I never really did them. I've done them a couple. The amount of times I've done box squats, I think I can only literally try to remember an image. I might have done them once or twice in my life. So there's that. Never did them, never liked them, never saw the point. Again, not saying that there isn't a point, but for your situation, you stay more upright. Yeah, because you're limiting the range of motion. So if you don't have knee problems, what sounds like you don't have optimal ankle and knee and hip mobility. So if you're a member, anyone that's listening to this, go to the master classes and focus on those mobility classes. If you're doing that because you could stay upright more, just elevate your heels. Elevate your heels or try front squats. And you can use front squats with straps. You can get a safety bar. You can get a transformer bar that's more expensive. You can use a Smith machine. I'm not a huge fan, but it's great if you have access to it, if it's a good Smith machine. But just elevate your heels and you'll stay more upright. So the reason why you might not be able to stay more upright is because of hip flexor strength. They might be weak. Oftentimes they're weak, so your hips can't anteriorly tilt and pull your pelvis forward to allow you to get deeper into that squat. If your ankles are tight, your knees can't go over your toes enough, so you'll be leaning forward more, putting a lot more pressure on your back. In my opinion, the only true squat is a high bar squat, staying more upright, Tom Platt style. Just elevate your heels, because elevating your heels will take out the need for that ankle mobility. You still practice ankle mobility, but in the meantime, elevating your heels on a 2x4 or some 10-pound plates will change the game for your squats. So I think the issues that you feel with staying more upright will be solved. It's better to go deeper as long as you don't have pain and maintain the movement throughout the full range with the squat rather than cut yourself short. However, I do think, having tons of experience training geriatric populations, aka old people, a box squat is very functional. It teaches them to be able to stand up. I mean, there's different applications, right? It's just tools. But if you have an older person, a parent or someone, it's important to practice getting up out of a chair because a lot of people can't stand up after they sit back down well. So box squats for elderly people are great because you're doing a lot of rehab. They have 70 years of improper movement. So having them sit down with weights and stand back up is just a very functional movement. So yeah, just not a fan of box squats. I don't see a lot of people use box squats to avoid mobility training and to detour around issues that they don't want to address. Lacey, I have weak quads and they're so much easier, meaning I need to do front squats and regular. Yeah, you just need to focus more on quads. I mean, a lot of powerlifting, they just do low bar back squats, all lower back and kind of like glutes. Like if you want to do a low bar back squat, I just think you're better off doing a good morning or RDLs. Squats are not for glutes. Squats are not for glutes, in my opinion. You want to do squats for quads. Most people don't have a good bar path, especially up and down. The reason is because people don't have knee mobility. They don't have ankle mobility. So they do a lower bar back squat because they don't have to expose themselves. It's better on their lower back if they don't have good mobility. It keeps them a little bit safer, but you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. That's why a lot of people have lower back issues with squats, is because they don't have good ankle mobility. And there's different bars. There's so many different bars now too, like a safety squat bar. You can hold it here so people don't have the issues with their back and rounding because they have tight shoulders. But a lot of times these bars and these different postures are roundabout ways of avoiding tackling the mobility. So you actually compound your lack of movement to detour with a machine or a bar. Yeah. I mean, there are probably some people that are like, I love box squats. I don't. I never do them. And I don't see any application for actually ever doing them. I've never done them. I never liked them. And I just literally never saw the point. But like I said, for sports applications, for certain things, yeah, it's a tool. You pause or a lot of people do it and they sit back. I mean, if you're just pausing and stopping and driving power from the bottom of the movement, there's an application, but meh. Meh. Yeah, Lacey, I actually don't like it either. I'm using a safety squat bar and I hate it. It pulls me forward, but that's the point. Yeah, I don't like it either. When I do squats, I don't use a safety bar. I have a Kabuki transformer bar. So if I do squats, I'll put it in the front squat position. And I don't like using it for squats. A standard safety bar. I have one from Titan. I just don't use it anymore. I prefer actually doing it with a regular bar. Yeah, Buffalo or Duffalo or Yukon bar, the curved bar. Yeah, those are good. And there's Mars bar. There's a lot of different, but that's a low bar back squat. And a lot of times, like a Mars bar will give you a low bar back squat without packing because it's really challenging on your elbows because you really like kind of hook your elbows in and the bar is so low, your arms are kind of like trapped. That's why you see powerlifters when they rack the bar, they're like, their arms, it's a lot of pressure. A lot of people don't think about that when they're doing powerlifting, but a lot of people that do powerlifting have like elbow problems from squatting. Ironically, it's not their legs, it's their elbows because you're fucking back. Like their arms are so low. You can't even get in that position without the bar because it's like pinning down. Yeah. All right. We got to go into, first off, I'm a more tainty boy. Aww. More tainty man. He's so beautiful.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
You're so beautiful, tainty boy. You're so beautiful, tainty man. Daddy loves you, tainty boy. Daddy loves you, tainty man. Tainty boy. My sweet tainty boy. Rebecca, good morning. Good morning, Papa. Good morning, Rebecca. Hello. Hello, puppet. All right, and the church, of course. Welcome, welcome. Come one, come all. Just in time for some balls deep action. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
That's deep.
Here we go. All right. So if you want to submit a question, ask papaswolio.com. We'll get to more questions tomorrow on Wednesday. Thank you so much for saving everyone, saving us from Instagram questions. Love it. I love the questions. I love the questions live. Everyone's holding it down. Wonderful. It's amazing. A lot of you are here consistently for the live show and you just have different questions every day. It's just fucking awesome. So many different questions every day. You're really bringing it. And I'm happy when I have an answer. Sometimes I don't. But I always try to speak from experience, right? If you're asking me a question, I'm like, nope, I've never done it. So you're still free to have your opinions. But if you're asking me, it is Ask Papa Swolio. So you're asking me for my thoughts and my opinions. So a lot of times I have strong opinions about things. You might disagree, and that's okay. Suck my dick. No, seriously, suck my dick.
Because.
Okay. Well, let's do this. All right, here we go. Balls deep. Pick a number, fam. Oh my God. Let's do this. Ooh, it came up. Let's do this story first. Ooh, I didn't think we'll be able to get this today. Excellent. We got a story for today. Check this out. If you thought people were crazy, they're crazier than you think. That's right, Lady Hawk. It's a me, Papa Swolio. Here we go. Making sick of fucking gains, making sick of fucking gains. That's a good t-shirt. It's a me, Papa Swolio. And it's like Mario with a Papa Swolio head. Ooh, I like it. It's a me, Papa Swolio. I'm going to mark that down. We're going to have a Super Mario Super Swolio 3 with the raccoon tail. It's a me. It's a me, Papa Swolio. Mario shirt. And then Mario Bros 3, Papa Swolio with raccoon tail. All right, so I'll get those. Okie dokie. Instead of a mushroom, yeah, we do a steak. That's right. Yeah, on the spot. Like, we create so many. It's a me, Papa Swolio. I eat a steak. Bloop, 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 bloop. Dun, 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 dun. Eat some meat. That's right, Mandy. It's on brand. It sounds like you're saying, eat some meat. Eat some meat. It's Papa Swolio. Eat some meat. Okay. Here we go. All right.
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Too much. Too much. Said no one ever. Said no one ever. Okay, let's see what's in the box.
What's in the box?
I don't know. Let's see how this box identifies. Here we go. New England Journal of Medicine, reputable resources, is slammed for suggesting students should be broken into groups segregated by race for medical education. Aha.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
But racism. Because that's important, right? How much melanin you have in your skin is going to determine how you learn medicine. Anyone questioning that the left is trying to bring back segregation? Anyone? Anyone? The New England Journal of Medicine has been strongly criticized, you don't say, for publishing an academic paper calling for medical students to be taught in racially segregated groups. The article, written by 7 academics, we're using that term, academics. We're using that very loosely these days. Doctors and students at the University of California, shocker. It calls for, quote, new approaches to teaching, namely dividing students based on the color of their skin. Yep, that's what segregation means, pretty much, or racial segregation does. Quote, the approach tailors areas of focus to each identity group. We were just talking about identity politics earlier. To supplement and differentiate the education received in racially integrated spaces. If you ever see this, if you're in school and you see this kind of stuff, leave. Don't waste your money. I mean, most education, most colleges, they're all corrupted, all universities. God damn it. Seriously, unless you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, do not go to fucking school. You do not need it. What a scam. What a fucking scam. Enabling participants to progress more effectively through the next stages of learning. Yeah, very effectively. They argue that segregating students as a part of a broader anti-racism and anti-oppression curriculum allows different groups to discuss their own experiences without fear. That's all we need to read. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
Ah, yes. 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 Oh, no, we have to read this next part because it's extra stupid. This kind of stuff is a super cringe. Very, very dumb. Founded on legacies of colonialism and racism, medical education has historically centered white learners and continues to perpetuate structural racism. It doesn't. Pedagogical approaches often center white learners and ignore the differential impact of content on BIPOC learners. I hate that word BIPOC. Anyone that says BIPOC is promoting racism. Black and indigenous people of color. Black, indigenous, and people of color. People of color. You mean colored people? Just changing the words, right? Changing the words around doesn't make it like less racist. People of color. But if you say colored people, it's like, oh my God, that's racist. You're just shifting around the order. It's still racism. It's still inappropriate. People of color. I'm a color. I'm a person of color. Am I not? I'm not white. Look at me. Do I look white to you? Do I look white? Anyone? Do I look white? I look kind of, what do you think? Caramel? Come on, what am I? I'm like a latte. I'm like a latte with a pump of like sugar-free steak syrup. Let's just put it that way. What do you think? What do you think? What color am I? I'm kind of like, I'm tan. So I'm a person of color. Isn't tan a color? Isn't a sun-kissed? Oh, joy. All right. So I'm a color. So technically I'm a person of color. Am I Caucasian? Am I Asian? Am I Caucasian? Rebecca, did you just assume your own race? Maybe I did.
How dare you?
And what if I did? What if I did? Oh my God, this is so great. We have to keep on reading it because it's super retarded. Let's see. They argue, aka racists argue that for black people and others, studying aside white fellow students can be, quote, be re-traumatizing, resulting in imposter syndrome, heightened anxiety, and a reduced sense of belonging. Anyone that feels that has no place in, I would say, our society, has no place in medicine, that's for fucking sure, needs to be kicked in the dick or the puss, needs to go do some hard labor, needs to go, I don't know, plant some trees, do something physical. So their back is sore at the end of the day, like, oh shit, that was a lot of work, right? Need to go do some work and then come back and realize, oh shit, we have it pretty good. A reduced sense of belonging. What the fuck are you talking about? As if you're not privileged going to school to be a doctor. Medical education. Yeah. Heightened anxiety. Then get off TikTok and Instagram. Stop reading this fucking shit. You're creating anxiety in people. The authors claim that black medical students, this is so cringe. The authors claim that black medical students, anytime you're talking about black medical students, like you're a racist. You're a segregationist, like you are. You're so damaged. Black medical students, quote, may have been socialized to care for the egos of white people, to express their emotions only in ways that are palatable to white audiences, and to tread lightly around, quote, white fragility, in parentheses, white people's discomfort and defensiveness regarding their legacy of racism and complicity in systems of inequality, in order to maintain their relationships, professional status, and safety. I guess we're all able to take offense. Fuck you. Any of these people can go fuck yourself and leave this country. Like, fuck all the way off. That's an insult. I'm not offended, but that's insulting. Yes, there was segregation in this country. Oh my God, people had slaves before? Ooh. There are more slaves now than ever before in history. Not to mention, everyone that people are still coming to this country. I don't see the black people in this country, who are Americans, by the way, if you're born here. I don't see them leaving because of all the racism. You're just staying here. So if it's so racist, leave. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Seriously, you're free to go somewhere else. Do I want you to leave? No, I just don't care. You're free to leave if you want. If you don't, then stop complaining. Anyone? Anyone? It's like the people when Trump won. We're going to leave this country. We're going to go to Canada. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just get the fuck out. It's like anyone that unfollow. I'm unfollowing. Good. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I pooped today. I pooped today. I don't care. Great. Cool. Cool story, Hansel. Yes, you desperately want attention. Yes, your parents should have hugged you more. Just fucking go. Go. The fuck out. The fuck out. Get the fuck out. No one cares. No one cares. So, shocker, we have racists in our midst, and don't go to school here. Ignore this stuff. Call it stupid and racist, because it's stupid and racist. Ugh. I love how they're bringing back racism and bringing back segregation under the guise of, oh, we're going to help black people. You think black people want to be pandered? A BIPOC? An indigenous person? People of color? Indigenous. Where? Where are the indigenous people? We all live here. We're all Americans. It is what it is. Yes, people have died. Yes, there were wars. Yes, Native Americans died from being slaughtered and died from disease and famine. It's like, welcome to fucking history. There's a lot of shit. So you might want to do a little bit better now, because our country is probably, we solved this issue. Can it be better? Always. leaps and bounds. Amazing progress in this country and continues to be. Again, if you don't like it, you can leave. It's not that complicated. And you'd be shocked at how few people care about your feelings. Just go. If you don't like it, go. But you're welcome to stay and be a hardworking American and produce for this country. But not under the guise of the color of your skin. People need to be taught differently. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Shut up. Isn't it fucking funny, right? Even in California, we need reparations. There was never slavery. Hello? There was never slavery in California. You're not suffering. You're not suffering. You're not suffering from slavery. Slavery doesn't exist. Hasn't for hundreds of years. I mean, in this country. In other countries, it still exists, but I don't see you fighting for them. No? Where are the complaints for the open slave markets in like Libya and Syria and shit, and like all these like third world countries? No issues, right? No problem. No problems. Not worried about it. Not worried about the actual slavery going on. Not worried about it. Other countries, if you're a homosexual, you get like murdered, sentenced to death and shit like that. But no problems. But we need rights. We need rights. You got rights. You got plenty of them. You might want to do a little world travel, and you'll realize that. Yeah. And John brings up a great point. Native Americans, Indians, whatever you want to call them, were savage as fuck. They would scalp each other. They would murder each other. They would wipe out tribes as if they were all like venerable. It's ain't Pocahontas. This isn't a Disney movie. All right. Native Americans were fucking savages. Literally. I know. I'm not saying that as like an insult. Yeah. They warring tribes. They would wipe out themselves. Read a book. The Comanche were fucking. You want to hear about savage shit? Learn about that. But my smallpox. All right, whatever. Okay, it was a good rant, but silliness. Stop rewriting history. Stop bringing back racism. No one cares, and there's no racism in medicine. You should probably focus on providing better medical care rather than sick care. Than, oh, but my skin color. No one cares. Like, I mean, a lot of people care. They're trying to care, right? I want to move up in the world by calling you a racist. You're a racist. You're oppressing me. I feel anxious being in the same room as you. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. If you're like, I'm nervous in a room of white people, you might want to unpack that a little bit, because don't act like anyone born the last 30 fucking years is like suffering at the hands of, it's nonsense. All right. It was really stupid. Where's my Swolcahontas shirt? Yeah, it's coming. God, we went long on that. Let's do one, maybe do one or two videos. Yikes. Oof. Speaking of stupid. Oh, there's a lot of dumb here. Ew. All right, let's pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Quickly. Let's hustle.
What's in the box?
Quickly. We need to make some gains. Let's go balls deep. You feel the scrotum slap. Let's go.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a
pick a
clown.
number 1, 2, or 3. Let's go with... Matrix is a great movie. Let's go with Trinity. Trinity to the main stage. Trinity to the main stage. Trinity to the champagne room. Trinity to the champagne room. All right. This one's called It's a Uterus. So on the screen, it's a response to a TikTok question. It says, literally nothing wrong. Literally nothing wrong in what she said. The fat activists get triggered whenever somebody reminds them that being fat is actually dangerous. Just facts. So I'm curious.
So while being fat can be dangerous,
yup. Pretty much.
This world, this country has gotten really liberal with the way that they use the term fat.
People have gotten really liberal with the way they use their mouth. The sounds that come out are horrific. And what goes in is also horrific. So yeah, most people are fat. So it's not really the people using the term liberally. It's liberals trying to make it seem like obesity isn't a problem.
Someone will have a slight gut and be called fat, but that's where our uterus sits, and it's supposed to look like that.
Nope. Jesus Christ. You're still doing this thing? That's where your uterus is? God, you're dumb. Man, you're dumb. You're so fucking dumb. God, I feel for your... I feel for you. God damn it. That's so stupid. Nice. No, you mean your lordotic curve? You mean you have poor posture? You have no muscle tone? You have excessive body fat? You're arching your back. That's not your uterus. That's poor posture and body fat. Your uterus isn't like that. You know, I have organs too. I got small intestines. I have a bladder. I have a pee-pee. I have a stomach and a liver and kidneys. Doesn't make my stomach hang out. You just have poor posture and you're fat. It's not your uterus. That's nonsense. Silliness. Learn about anatomy, please. Thank you.
People pretend to care about others' health when it comes to fat, but nobody wanted to wear a mask during the pandemic.
Oh my God.
Matt Damon.
Because masks don't work. The masks don't work. You just want to control people and tell them what to wear. You need to wear a mask. Have kids. Tell them what to do. Stop trying to control other people. Besides the fact that masks do jack shit. Except covering your face. Which, that's the only benefit of a mask, is that we don't have to look at your face. So, a win for masks, I would say. A win for masks. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! I gotta get that Steve Austin soundboard. Here we go.
Again, fat is subjective.
It's not.
The BMI was made by palm men for palm women. My genetics will never in a million years fit into a BMI, and I never plan on fitting into a BMI.
Is that what we're calling pants now? Listen, your genetics is not your genetics. Guarantee you don't exercise properly. You don't eat properly. Yeah, you slather yourself and surround yourself with toxins and hormones. It's not your genetics, it's your habits.
Because if I look like this at 325, yeah.
You look like 325? If you're 325, that means you're like 6 feet tall. Or 6'2". You ain't 325 unless you're like 6'2" as a woman. Bullshit.
Yeah. Look like this at 250. I never in my life want to be 187 to 180, which is what my BMI for healthy is.
You're probably very, 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 very tall. You just also have no muscle mass. You can tell. You don't really have any. It's okay. Like, what's your point?
Can you imagine me losing 70 more pounds than this? Absolutely not.
If you have muscle mass, you don't need to lose 70 pounds. That's the difference between having muscle mass. Yeah. Tell me you know nothing about body fat composition without telling me you have no body fat composition. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Rebecca, as a member of the female race, I beg her to stop talking, please. Yeah, but Rebecca, you don't understand her lived experience. So there's that. You don't understand the lived experience. Who thinks she was 325 unless she was like 6'5"? Yeah, I there's something missing there. There's a few things missing. There was a lot said in that video. Not saying it's supposed to make sense because it doesn't. I don't use the BMI. I don't pay attention to BMI. It is accurate though. It is accurate if you look at it. It's just not the most important thing. It's really, if you exercise and you lift weights and you have muscle mass, it's not accurate. But it's a great guideline for people that don't do jack shit. And most people don't do jack shit. Yeah, 325. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. To look like that, how tall do you have to be as a woman? Probably like 6'5". I don't, something's not right there. All right, pick a number, 1 or 2.
What's in the box?
1 or 2, and let me tell you, 1 or 2, we lose either way. There's no winning. We don't have, there's no winning here. Let's see. Rebecca, you've been great today. Let's do Rebecca, number 2.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Julian, number 2 before my office meeting. All right, so Julian and Rebecca holding it down. This one's titled, we're going to finish up with this one, because the next one is, God damn it, I've seen her face way too much recently, and we can save that for tomorrow. Oof. All right. It's called Biology Teacher.
What's in the box?
So you know it's going to be good. Oh, my God. This is a teacher? Jesus Christ. Here we go. Biology Teacher.
I have a funny story to tell people.
I doubt it.
So, dog. So I'm a 7th grade biology teacher.
God damn it. Save the kids.
I wear a little pin on my ID tag that says that she/they.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, Tardy. If you're a biology teacher, my God, a biology teacher in 7th grade, talk about a low bar, right? What do you have to know to teach biology in 7th grade? You have to read a book. You have to know that, what's biology in 7th grade, right? Like mitosis and shit like that. Epidermis. The basics. Wildlife Fae. If you have pronouns, if you have she, her in your bio, go fuck yourself. If you think you're multiple people, you need help, go fuck yourself too. This is nonsense. The pronoun shit is the most ridiculous nonsense. There's not too many things more ridiculous than the pronoun thing. Papa Swolio, he, him. Oh, you don't say. You don't fucking say. You mean language? You mean words? You mean how language is used? It's the stupidest thing ever. So anyone that's saying that is desperate for attention. They're trying to grease. They're trying to virtue signal. It's pathetic. It's lame. No one cares. You're not important. It just pisses me off. And it's always pissed me off. It's just to the point now where I'm literally like, fuck your pronouns. Fuck your pronouns. I think the worst is when you're a woman, you're a man, you're one or the other, and you say he, him, he, she, her. Wee wee? Wee wee? Wee wee? Wee wee, she, her? Wee wee? It's already bad if you're like, I'm a they. You are you? Okay. We have padded rooms for people that think they're theys. If you think you're multiple people, okay.
He/they. So they were being really disturbing and loud. So I shut that down.
Even your dog is whimpering. He's like, stop being so stupid. Stop talking about this dumb shit. They're being really loud. Yeah, they don't respect you because you are an idiot.
And one of my kids goes, yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
I go,
respect.
Excuse me?
Yep.
One of the kids is like, well, your pin says she, they.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
just stood there like,
Yeah, based.
well, I don't like that.
Oh my God. That's a biology teacher in 7th grade. Talk about an unstable human being. That's...
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
That's sick. That's sick. Good for you, kid. Good for you, kid. I mean, people like that don't deserve your respect. Respect is earned. And again, not deserving respect doesn't mean you spit on them, doesn't mean you hang them from the gallows. It doesn't mean you kick them out of society. It just means you fire people that are incompetent at their job. If you have a 7th grade biology teacher that thinks they're multiple people, then you fire them because they don't understand fundamental biology and they have no business teaching anyone anything. Well, I don't like that. Good. You shouldn't like that. No one likes the fact that they have a stupid teacher. The kids are being loud and not paying attention because you are an idiot and they know it. Kids are not stupid. You have to beat the stupid out of them. That's why the libtards are going after the kids younger and younger. Because it's not easy when kids have the internet and they're 12, 13, 14, 15, and they're like, this is fucking stupid. They're laughing at you behind their back. But if you go after 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, they can't complain the same way. They don't know any different. Right? So the younger you go, that's why I have to keep on going younger and younger because kids are pretty fucking logical. Remember that, didn't age well, but remember the Cosby Show and those other things like the kids say the darndest things? Like kids will be like, look, mommy, look how fat that guy is. And the parents are like, shh, don't say that because the parents are embarrassed. But kids are like, look, a fat person, look how big he is. It's like, yeah, look. Kids will they don't have a filter for a reason. So, but that shouldn't be, and the crazy thing is like we suppress that. But the reason why kids are speaking up, it's because they're curious. They're truthful, right? They have innocence, and innocence is fact, right? The base level of innocence is just truth. It's like, what is that? Oh, that's that. This is this. It's observation. It's curiosity. It's asking why. Why has this happened? Why has this happened? So when you answer these questions and you keep on pounding them with bullshit or racism or victimhood, especially when they're really little and they don't know anything different, you're programming them. Just like you can program kids with religion, you could program them with the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. They'll believe this shit for years and years and years until it's so obvious that it's bullshit, then they don't believe it anymore. You know, they start realizing, no, the writing on the gifts, like the to and from on Santa's gifts, looks a lot like mom's handwriting. They just get old enough and then kids start talking and they just get it. Or they come in the middle of the night and they see you wrapping presents and like, hey, I saw you wrapping presents. Okay, Santa's not real. You know, we fucking lied to you. And the kid's like, okay. Like, honestly, I almost think, you know, it brings up a point. I'm just on this rant right now, but do you think that's a fundamental... I know a lot of people did that. I believed in Santa too. I know it's kind of seems harmless, but do you think that's a fundamental rift that people don't talk about enough that breaks trust between kids and parents? Do you think that's a fundamental rift because kids are essentially realizing, oh, you've lied to me my whole life. I know we kind of pass over. It's like a cultural thing. It's like, hey, they grew up and they realize Santa's not real. You've been lying to them. And like they realize, oh, you were just lying to. What else are you lying to me about? There's no tooth fairy. It seems like it's a big rug pull, isn't it? I think it's a big rug pull. I think it goes understated how manipulative that is. I think it's better off like when you have like, oh, it's Christmas, like there's presents on the tree. Like if you're good, it's like you should be teaching morals. Like, you know, we give each other gifts and they know who it's from. They know it's from mommy and dad. Like Santa gave me this gift. No, mommy and daddy saved for this PlayStation 5 and worked really hard. It's not fucking Santa. Santa brought me this. You know, don't you think it's really important to know that, oh, my parents, you know, got me these things and thanks mom, thanks dad. I don't know. I just think it's kind of it's an interesting thing, right? You combine that with like school and stuff like that and all these people that are trying to manipulate and steal your kids. you know, well, your parents lied to you about this. I think it's like a fundamental kind of in. It's like, well, they lied to you about this. They're also lying to you about other things. And you should listen to me. Like, your parents aren't trustworthy. You might be a different gender. Come to the guidance counselor's office later. We'll give you your starter kit. Some blue hair dye and a septum piercing. I don't know. I'm just saying. I know kids are also innocent in the sense like they'll find out and like, oh, okay. But that's why I'm saying that's why it's so easy to manipulate, because they're just like, okay, cool. That's real. Oh, that's not real anymore. Okay. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying that there is kind of like a foundational break in trust, whether or not it's really addressed or not. I don't know. Just something I thought about. Wax. Santa knows where all the naughty girls. Santa knows where all the naughty girls live, says Wax. Wait, my thing. Let's see. That didn't work. Santa knows where all the naughty girls live. So does Epstein. Oh shit. Too soon. Let's not go down that rabbit hole yet. Holy shit. Malka, it's more weird to put your little girl on Santa's lap after you tell her not to talk to strangers. Who remembers Santa's first hug? And that's a reason to sue your parents. Yeah, go sit in this Santa's lap. Is that a candy cane in your pocket, Santa? Or you're just happy to see me? Oh, it's a candy cane. John, there's a litter box in one classroom in my stepson's school. He's 7, and needless to say, he won't be attending school next year. There's a litter box. Dude, I'd blow that up on social. A litter box for what? Who uses it? Your kid's pissing in it? That's disgusting. That's so sick. If there's no cat in the class, that's sick. Chris, we do a few small gifts from Santa, and the big gifts are absolutely from mom and dad. Don't need them asking why Santa got a bike/game system for friends and they only got smaller toys and clothes. Yeah, that's a better way to do it, right? Santa's like, oh, you were good. You got little like stockings. Like Santa stocks the stuffings, and yeah, I mean, I think it's. I don't know. There's just a thought that I had now. Like, isn't that a fundamental trust breaker? Let's see. SH, I tested the tooth fairy. No big deal finding out she was fake. Easter Bunny I knew was fake. I knew there were fake Santas, but I thought there was a real one too. I think a lot of people, right? Parents usually say, well, the one at the mall, well, this is Santa's helper. The real Santa's doing stuff. But these are other, you know, like sub-Santas, right? Lady Hawk, Joe Biden can always get a job as mall Santa when he's not president anymore. Yeah. Let's... Pretty much.
Look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Santa's black. Don't you go. Don't you? You don't understand Santa's lived experience. Elizabeth, so glad I pulled my son from public school. Yeah. I mean, it's fucked up. A lot of people can't do that, but you need to over communicate with your kids if they're in public school and you have no other choice. My God, you have to really reinforce that. This is why, if you have young kids and they're going to have to go to public school, I would say, I don't know, get them into religion or something. Like, you need to give your kids need to have moral structure. You got to be really proactive. Oh my God, John, are you fucking serious? Where do you live, dude? Holy crap. John says the one kid, we're talking about the litter box. Oh my God. That's sick, dude. That's really fucking sick. The one kid uses it that identifies as a cat, and when it wants to use it, everybody has to leave. My wife and I already went to the board and raised hell. They're, quote, looking into it. That's sick. So the room smells like cat litter and human piss. Oh my, that's unsanitary. Can't you? I feel like that's there's got to be some other like legal avenue that you can use to sue the school. I would sue the fuck out of that school. Get a bunch of other parents to. That's some sick shit. Where do you live? Tell me you live in California without telling me you live in California. Let's guess where John lives. Where do you live, John? Let's guess. Who says California? Or Michigan? I have a feeling it's fucking Michigan. I don't know. Come on, John. I want to know. You don't have to be like the city or something. You have to get like the Wisconsin. I don't know why I thought Michigan. Something. Portland, Oregon. Oof. Tip of the iceberg. They do the litter box thing here, and I'm in Tennessee. What the fuck? Yeah, it could be Colorado. Ooh, that's a good one. Are you serious, John? Fucking that.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I don't know why I felt that. That's impressive. Everyone went like California. Well, that was the easy one. Really, Michigan? I don't know why I sensed that. I'm not proud of it. I'm not like Michigan. Oh my God. When you just get so close to Canada, they're like, fuck it, eh? Are you getting poisoned by those Canadians? Michigan's just so far north. It's like, yeah, you kind of start doing shit. Michigan, I guess, like places like that are so close that they're almost out of the country. They're trying to get attention. Like, hey, look at us. We're still here. We're still part of this country. And everyone's like, yeah, but you're all the way up there. You're pretty much Canada. There's like parts of you that are kind of like up, like above the lake. It's like, it's Canada. It's just like, it's that sound. How is that not illegal? How is that not unsanitary and detrimental to kids' health? That's really sick to subject them to like urine. That's fucking gross. Yeah, they keep it in the classroom. People have to leave. What's a kid do? Like you take off the top and just piss and it splatters or something? Or you have to like, how's that look? How old are the kids, John? I live 5 hours from the Upper Peninsula, which is basically Canada. It is. Yeah. Rebecca, you can't carry a knife in Michigan, but your kid can go to school and use a litter box. That's insane. I've heard that. I mean, we've talked about the litter box thing, but like in the classroom, everyone has to leave. Hey, I don't know. John has to take a piss. Everyone leave so he can. Yeah, fuck yeah, Lady Hawk. I mean, you could put it in the bathroom. I think that's equally as weird, but at least it should be in the bathroom. Put it in a stall. It shouldn't be. No, fuck that shit. Don't put it in a stall. You shouldn't have it at all. KH is so awful. I refuse to believe it. Like, it's hard. I think a lot of people, it's like, no, it's so insane. That's not happening here. That's impossible. It's so ridiculous. How could it possibly be true? Jeff, what if you have cat allergies? That's a good one. Yeah. Lady Hawk, then you have Florida just dangling there like a gigantic cock doing their own thing for freedom. Fucking Florida, baby. Make America Florida. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah for Florida. But DeSantis is kicking out trans people. He's not. If you don't know, South Florida and like South Beach, it's like the gayest. Miami is like in Sunny Isles, and it's like the gayest fucking area. Wilton Manors. There's so many gay people here. There's so many. Never had a problem. Man, this is South Florida is like the gay capital of the fucking world. You know? God, fucking freedom. Thank God for Florida. No, we only just passed laws saying, hey, parents have rights to know what their kids are doing in school. Oh, you're evil. It's my child. Go fuck yourself. Oh, but it's the Don't Say Gay bill. No, it's not. It's not called that at all. Parental rights in education. Parental rights in education. How fucking crazy is that? People are demonizing that. Parental rights in education. I'm against it. I'm against parental rights. The only people that are against that don't have kids. They don't have kids, so they need yours. They don't have children. They're stealing your children. They don't have their own kids, so you can't have rights to your own kids because we need them. That's what happens when you don't have children. That's what happens when you break apart the family unit. That's what happens when you pierce your septum, dye your hair, and no one wants to date you. No one wants to fuck you because you smell like soy and tofu. That's what happens. You get a ton of cats, you dye your hair, you septum pierce yourself, like these clowns, and no one wants to fuck you. Or shocker. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm surprised people don't want to lock that down. Fat phobia, you're offensive. Yet no one wants to be with you. Not surprisingly. Ooh, no one wants to spend the rest of their life with you and raise a family? Oh, news to me. You're surprised why no one wants to fuck you? Well, I'm asexual now. And that helps the world. You're not asexual because no one wants to bang you. Right? You're not a different gender because no one wants to fuck you. You don't have to do that. You just got to improve yourself as a person. But, you know. John, didn't DeSantis just pass a bill to unalive kid touchers? I'm on board. I don't know. You mean pedophiles? John, I think you mean minor attracted persons. Fam, it's just really important to not use the sick fucking language that the left uses. Just, they're pedophiles, right? I do appreciate the fact that you said unalive. You can say unalive. You can't say kill, I suppose. Massive May works both ways. We are out here getting massive gains, and we come here to discuss massive people. It is, it's massive. Every month is massive in that case. Let's see. SH, I've been thinking of moving south for a while, but I don't know where is both safe, sane, and I can find a decent job. Need to keep investigating. I mean, what's a decent job? I mean, safe, sane? Anyone that's telling you all this shit, you know, you hear all the Florida man and Florida is fucking crazy. It's really not. It's really not. There's different rules. I think the issue when people think, oh, Florida man, I believe the state law, and you can look into this. I remember reading this. I forget the details, but the Florida law, like the legal system, you're allowed to, what is it? You're allowed to publicly release information, and a lot of states don't have it, right? When there's an arrest, that's why you always have Florida man stories, because it's like public when these things happen. So it's not that this crazy shit doesn't happen elsewhere. Obviously it does, but the Florida law, I don't know, makes it easy or more accessible with like minor offenses and arrests and stuff. So you just hear about it more. It's not any crazier than other states. It's just the laws allow you to publicly disseminate the information or something like that. So it's like this. Florida's, yeah, that's true. That's true. Floridians are terrible. It's horrible. The driving is terrible. That's because everyone's from a different country, and a lot of other countries don't have like lines on their roads. Like, are all the people that just drive like lunatics in Venezuela and Argentina and India and every other fucking country in South America, where the traffic is just like, there's lines, there's like it's just a constant flow of like cars and traffic. It's like, just don't hit another car. There's no real traffic laws. Yeah, they all come here. If you're used to signaling, just forget it. In Florida, you always have to play it's always, if someone's trying to hit you to get 100 points, everyone's trying to hit you. And no one's going to let you know that they're turning. It's a surprise. So it's like a birthday party. It's a birthday gift. Every time you're driving, it's like, and we're stopping now. We're turning because we felt like it. So you have to keeps on your toes. Terrible drivers. We have the freedom to drive however the fuck you want. No one, driver's license? Get the fuck out of here. I remember when I had, we'll give away the Swole card in a second, but I remember when I had motorcycle insurance, it was cheap as shit. It was like a couple $100 for like the year or for 6 months. It was something ridiculous. But if you wanted uninsured motorist insurance, it was like $1,000 for the year. And what that means is if you get hit by someone who doesn't have car insurance, it'll cover you, because like so many people are just driving without licenses and without insurance. So like the insurance itself was super cheap, but if you want uninsured motorist insurance, it was like fucking astronomical, because most people, the percentage chance of someone hitting you or something, or of someone that hits you not having insurance was so fucking high. Yeah. Yeah. Florida is, it's not even the old people who shouldn't have a license. It's not even that. It's mostly people that are just from different countries and don't give a shit. But it spirals out of control because the old people, and there's other people from other countries, and people drive like shit. So you have to kind of drive like shit to avoid people driving like shit. Like people are going everywhere, like, whoa, shit. Then you're stopping and switching over to protect yourself. And other people, it spirals out of control because you have to drive like shit by proxy because other people drive like shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Julian, I tried to argue about the lockdowns not working with my dad, and I mentioned Florida not doing it. He had nothing to say. Of course not. The lockdowns were far worse than COVID. Far worse. We're still continuing to see the side effects of the lockdowns because of the money printing, because of everything else. Supply chains. Yeah, it's still coming. Depression is coming. Hardcore recession. It's already here, but you change the definition of it, we can kick it down the road for a while. No one's talking about the bank absorbing and all these other banks that are going under. It's not making front page news anymore, which is all you need to know. Anyway, yeah, go make some gains. Go be a man, go be a woman, go make some gains, go take care of yourself. And let's give away Massive May. Massive May. Massive May. Massive May. Massive May.
What's in the box?
You can't lock down these gains. You know what I'm saying? You can't lock down these gains. I'm a swole attracted person. I'm a sap. I'm a fucking sap, baby. Swole attracted person. Gotta make some gains. Massive May. Scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. I realized we didn't even push it too hard today. One more time. 0 is the whole way around. Come on, Falcon. Come on, Joe.
Come on, man. But I like the young people.
Where'd my mouse go? Oh, Jesus Christ. It is Albert Barbes or Barbs. Congratulations, bro.
Congratulations!
Albert, you getting massive for May? I think you are, bro. What a fucking mancast. We went extra long and deep today. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, swolecard 2552. In the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. We'll send you this fucking Swole card. Send you the Swole card. Maybe I'll send some steak shavings. Let's just grind up and flake off some jerky and just put it in the envelopes. What do we... Now, fam, drop your soundboard request in the comments. What did we learn today, fam? What did we learn today?
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
That's right, fam. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to start teaching. Just have if you have a 7th grader, just have them watch the Daily Swole. I'll take care of that 7th grade biology.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
I'm totally comfortable in my body. I just don't want to be in pain.
Rebecca, you stick with us. You stick with us, and we're gonna educate you.
What happened to your queer party friends?
We'll get you on the straight and narrow, the straight and swole. Fuck the narrow. If you can't sit in an airplane seat, it better be because you're fucking yoked. Better be because you're swole.
Another example of cake gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
Oh, Rufus, my tainty boy.
No?
Loud noises!
Now, once you've had sex with the woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
I got hairy legs. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion, $1.4 billion.
Well, I could be wrong.
Whipped it out.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Just gonna put this out there. A lot of you ask, you're playing the piano really well, Papa Swole, but at the end, you pick up your hands. You cross your arms sometimes. You go coast to coast. How do you hit those notes? It's because it's with my dick.
Because emotional.
You all know it's true. The piano cock is undefeated, and it's not easy, but we make it happen. All right, let me roll it up. Fam, thank you so much for being here. Episode 2552. We got 2553 coming up tomorrow. We went long, we went extra deep today, but did you have any doubt? As if we weren't going to. And nothing like an extra long man cast. Lester, it's like a third hand. I know, right? Check us out. You ready? Huh? Ready? See? Tripod. Fam, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swole. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard to paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Our topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element. No